So we're going to start in reclined Konasana, which we've done before. But if you want to, when you come into it, so it's soles of the feet together, legs dropping out, you can place your block just underneath, and you'll have to kind of fiddle about with it to get comfortable. But you want your hips up onto the block. So it's kind of just giving you a little bit of elevation and the hips drop out to the side. If you don't have a block or you don't want to have your hips on it, then just sit in reclined Konasana when you're ready. And just taking a few moments, just at the start of class, just in this reclined position, just to come away from your morning and just begin to draw your attention inwards. So ladies, if you've just joined us, we're starting in reclined Konasana, so soles of the feet together. And if you have a block, then you're going to lie down, lift your hips and place the block underneath your hips. If you don't have one, don't worry, you can just lie in that anyway. So just taking a few moments just to allow yourself to just relax a little bit. So through your body, just start to notice it and relax your shoulders and relax your legs so that the knees are kind of dropping down towards the ground. And do make any adjustment to your position if it doesn't feel right, but if it does, then try and just soften a little bit more. And then today we're going to do a little 3-part breathing. So we've done this a couple of times before. So just first of all, either following it with your mind or you can follow it with your hands. So you can place your hands just first of all, just in your upper chest area. So just beneath your collarbones. And just breathing in and out through your nose, start to breathe into the chest area. So as you inhale, you should feel the chest rising. And on the exhale, just feel it dropping back in. And then if you want to, you can move your hands further down, so down towards your ribs here. One hand either side of the rib cage is fine. Again, just breathing in to your hands. And start to feel the rib cage just moving gently out to the sides. So you start to feel it touching your fingertips as you breathe in. And then it's just moving back into the center on the exhale. And then if you want to, you can move your hands now towards your low belly. So beneath your belly button and above the pubic bone. And start to breathe in to the lower part of your belly. So again, on the inhale, the low belly rises. And on the exhale, it falls back in. So in our class today, we're moving on to the second chakra, which is called the sacral or Savasthana chakra. And it's located here, so just above your pubic bone, below your belly button. And it's concerned with creativity, sensuality, passion. And its colour is orange. So if you want to envisage it, then just envisage this orange colour. So again, we'll be doing some moves which are all really about our hips. So opening the hips, stretching the hips. Just to try and make sure there's no blockage in that area. So when you're ready, you can keep your block where it is if you're using one. And take the hands now, just gently draw the knees back together. And I'm going to stretch the legs out. So you're going to stretch the legs along the floor. And then stretch the arms overhead. Just coming into this full body stretch. Again, with the block there, it just adds a little bit to it. But again, if you don't fancy it or you don't want to be on the block, then don't do it. Start to breathe now all the way down to your toes. We'll take one more deep inhale here. And then slowly bring your arms back round, so just right round to the front. And we'll bend your right knee in towards your chest. So you're just going to draw that right knee in, the left leg just stretches away, so you could flex your left foot a little bit. You could keep it on the ground here. And again, just staying on the block if you're on it. So without grasping or pulling, just drawing that right knee towards your chest. And extending and lengthening through your left heel. Okay, we'll change sides. So again, just take that right leg, extend it away, and then draw the left knee in towards your chest. Start to draw it in a little bit more as you press away through your right heel. So just stretching through the hip flexors a little bit through the back of the hip as well. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. Slowly release that leg. So this time we'll just bring both feet flat on the floor. And then you can just lift your hips up if you've got the block underneath and just gently remove that block. And then we'll just push up into a little bridge here. So just lift your hips up, draw the shoulders under. Maybe spread your hands or maybe clasp your hands. Just whatever feels right to you. And again, start to feel the breath moving into the front, the sides, and the back of your body. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. And then slowly, if you've got your hands, just release them and release your hips all the way back down towards the ground. As you do that, we'll draw the knees towards your chest. You can take a little roll there if you'd like, side to side. And we're just going to roll up to a sitting position. So just take your time. You can do a couple of rolls if you fancy it. Otherwise, just coming up to sitting. So we're going to make our way forwards to all fours when you're ready. And if you need to, grab a block and bring it with you as well. So you can take that, maybe even 2 blocks. Grab one just now. You can grab a couple, another one later. So we'll come into this all fours position. So spreading your hands, knees underneath your hips, belly pulled in. So when you're ready, on an inhale, we're just going to lift up through your right leg. Now we're lifting the leg out to the side today, so just warming up through your hip. And on the exhale, release it down. You don't have to touch the ground as it comes down either. But inhale, lift the leg to the side. And then on the exhale, release it back down. Do that again, so inhale up. And exhale lower. Now then the next inhale, we're going to lift the leg up and hold it up there. And then we're going to extend the leg. So you're going to stretch it out to the side. And then slowly lay that foot on the ground. So it's in line with your hip, with your right hip. And then we're going to come in for thread the eye of the needle here. So with your left hand, if you just took it under, and then you can lay yourself down on that left shoulder, And maybe walk your right hand in front of you. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale here. If you walk your right hand back and then just press yourself back up, so onto your hands first of all. And then from here, if you walk your hands back towards your knees, and then we're going to come up. We're coming up to a nice tall position. And if you can, with that right foot, try and push your right little toe down towards the ground, so you've got the sole of the foot on the ground. And then we'll take your right hand just to that leg, and then we're going to reach up and over. So just get a nice stretch through the left side of your body. Okay, take one more deep inhale, and then slowly release that arm down. Now we're going to bring your right leg all the way to the front. So you can do it there, or you can bend your legs, but bring it forwards. And then bring your hands down, either towards blocks or towards the ground. And we'll slide back a little bit through that left leg. So just coming into this low lunge position. So we are going to move back and forward through this. So you might need blocks, but again, if you're on your fingertips and it feels okay, then that's fine. But on an inhale, we'll just start to straighten your front leg a little bit. And then on the exhale, just slowly bend back in. So knee over the ankle as you come forwards. So do that again. So slowly move back. So you don't have to fully straighten the leg, but just getting a little stretch in the hamstring. And then move forwards. Okay, we'll do that once more. And move forwards. Now you can either stay here and stay with that, or we'll tuck the toes under on the back leg and lift through your back knee. And it's the same thing again. So on the inhale, we move back a little bit, straightening the leg a little. And then on the exhale, move forwards. So again, if it doesn't feel right, lower the back knee. Otherwise, in moving back, and again, not straining to straighten it, but just moving back a little bit. And we'll do that once more. And you can hold this one, just maybe give your head a little shake. And just breathing into the back of that leg, just stretching through your hamstring. Okay, one more deep inhale. We'll slowly rebend the leg, but this time we're just going to step back to downward facing dog. So you might want to lift your back knee if it's down. Step back to down dog, and when you get there, maybe curl your feet out a little bit. Again, just making any movements that feel right to you. Okay, when you're ready, on an inhale, we'll lift the hips up and just lower the knees all the way back down towards the ground. On an inhale, stop the belly and lift your chest. And then on the exhale, just rounding in. Do that again, so just warming up through your spine a little bit. And just one more time. So make your way back to the center. This time we'll circle the hips round, so just gentle circles, so maybe moving all the way back and all the way forwards, but just really concentrating on warming up the hips. A little bit of movement in the shoulders if you want to make it bigger. And then when you're ready, just change direction. And then when you're ready, we'll come back towards the center. So we're just going to do that little sequence on the other side. So we're starting with the left leg. And on an inhale, we'll just lift the left leg up towards the side. I'll come around so you can see, but lift it up towards the side. And on the exhale, release it down. So again, do that again. So using your core a little bit as you lift up. Try not to lean too much on the other side. So keep your arms straight if you can. And then do one more. So lift the leg up now. Just hold the leg up. And then extend the leg out to the side. And then from there, slowly release that left leg down towards the ground. So from here, we'll come in for that little thread the eye of the needle again. So we're going to take your right arm, take it under, and lay the side of your head down. Maybe stretching your left arm away. Okay, when you're ready, we'll make our way back up. So walk your hand in, push yourself up first of all. So you're just on your hands, and then walk your hands back towards your knee. So again, when you come up, just maybe align that leg a little bit more so it's in line with your hip. Press down through your little toe again. This time taking your left hand down the leg and reaching up and over with that right arm. Well done. Okay, slowly release that. So again, we're going to swing that leg all the way around to the front. So you could take your hands down first. You don't have to keep them up. But you can take your hands down if you want. It's probably easier. And then we'll make our way forwards again. So maybe slide back a little bit through your right leg, up onto your fingertips. Draw the belly in and lift the chest. So either hands on blocks here, or when you're ready, we'll start to move back. So just slowly moving back, straightening that front leg a little bit, and then make your way forwards again. And again, if it feels not nice on your knee, you can always kind of double up or pad your knee, if that helps you. And stay with that, or maybe tuck the toes on the back leg, lift the knee off the ground, and then on the inhale, move back and straighten the front leg again. And exhale, rebend it. So just whatever suits you, knee up or down, doesn't really matter. I'll do one more of these. So on this next one, we're just going to hold back. So we're just going to hold in this position. Again, your hands could be on blocks, back knee could be down. Well done. When you're ready, slowly rebend the leg. So we'll step back to downward facing dog again. So take your time, maybe pedal out the feet a little bit more. Just making movements that feel right to you. Okay, when you're ready, on an inhale, lift the heels and we'll start to make our way up to the top. So just walk your feet up, take your time, separate your feet hip distance when you get there, and just allow the body just to hang forward. So maybe give the head a little shake. When you're ready, release the hands if you've got them, and on an inhale, we'll lengthen forwards. As you exhale here, just folding back in. On the inhale, we'll reach up, and on the exhale, palms meet the heart. Maybe closing the eyes down and just noticing how your body is starting to feel as we warm up a little bit. Okay, when you're ready, release the arms down by your sides. You can keep your feet apart here, you can bring them in, it doesn't really matter. But on an inhale, we'll reach the arms up, and we're going to try and lift the heels up as you come up, but just have a shot at it. So inhale, lift the arms, lift the heels. And then on the exhale, we'll lower the heels as we bring the arms back down. So do that again. So inhale, lift the heels up, reach up. Again, you don't have to do this. And exhale, release back down. We'll do that once more. So inhale, lift the heels up. And exhale, pull them back in. Okay, so staying with your feet hip distance, moving them in. We'll do a few just classical Surya Namaskar just to warm up a little bit. So as you inhale, we'll reach up with the arms, so maybe look up. And then on the exhale, just folding forwards towards your legs. So bending the knees if you need to. Inhale, lengthen. And on the exhale, we'll step back with your right leg. So we'll lower the knee to the ground here. On an inhale, we'll move back, so maybe straighten that leg. And on the exhale, we'll re-bend the leg. From here, we'll tuck the toes under, lift the back knee, and we're going to step back to plank. So we will lower the knees down for the first one, so you can just move to chaturanga if you'd like, and bend your elbows and lower all the way down to the ground. As you inhale, pull your shoulders back and lift your chest up. And on the exhale, release all the way back down. When you're ready, inhale, we'll push back up, so just up onto your knees. And on the exhale, tuck the toes and lift the hips, downward facing dog. So this time we'll step forwards with your right leg. So look where you're going. Step your right foot forwards. Again, we'll lower that back knee towards the ground. And then slowly and gently just move back. And then re-bend the leg. So this time, tuck the toes under, lift the back knee. We'll step to the top, so bend the back leg and step up. Inhale, lengthen. And on the exhale, just fold back in. As you inhale, reach up. And on the exhale, hands meet the heart. Okay, we'll do that again. So inhale, reaching with your arms. Exhale, fold forwards towards your legs. Lengthening on the inhale. And step back with your left leg this time. Again, maybe lower the knee down. And slowly move back, so straightening that leg. Move back in again, so re-bend it. And then tuck the toes under and lift the back knee. Again, we'll step back to that plank position. Lower the knees and lower all the way down. On an inhale, coming up to that cobra. And on the exhale, release all the way back down. As you inhale, press back up, so onto your knees first. Exhale, tuck the toes under and lift the hips up. Good, so we'll look forwards. We'll step forwards with the left leg this time. Again, maybe lowering that knee down. And then moving back. Rebending through the leg. Tucking the toes and lifting the back knee. And we'll step up towards the top of your mat. So lengthen on the inhale. And fold towards your legs on the exhale. Reach up, rise all the way up. And bring the palms towards your heart. Okay, let's keep going. So inhale up. And make your way forwards on the exhale. Lengthen forwards. And then step back with your right leg. So this time you could keep your right knee up off the ground, or you could lower it down. It's up to you. And again, we'll move back, so straightening that front leg. And then re-bend the leg. So if you've got your back knee down, you might want to lift it. So we'll step back to plank, so lower to chaturanga, or bend your knees first. And then upward facing or cobra. As you exhale, make your way back in your own time to downward facing dog. Okay, so this time we'll step forward with your right leg. So look where you're going, step it to the front. Again, lower your back knee if you feel that's better for you. When you're ready, we'll start to straighten through the front leg and then re-bend that front leg. Again, if your back knee is down, then lift it up. And then bend the back leg and step up towards the top of your mat. Lengthen on the inhale and fold back in on the exhale. Reaching all the way up. And draw the palms towards your heart. Okay, one last time. So reaching back up and folding forwards when you're ready. Lengthening. And then make your way back with your left leg. Again, lower your back knee down if you'd like. And when you're ready, start to straighten through that front leg. Rebend the leg. Again, lift your back knee and step to plank. Lower your knees if you'd like, or to chaturanga. Upward facing, and make your own way back to downward facing dog. So take your time. Okay, so left leg steps through. Again, keeping that knee lowered or lifted. Start to make your way back, so straightening the leg, and then rebending the leg. When you're ready, lift your back knee off the ground and step up towards the top of your mat. Lengthen forwards on the inhale Holding back in on the exhale. Reaching up, rising up. And palms meet the heart. Again, maybe close your eyes down, just noticing how you feel. Now, before we move further, we're going to do a little practice of half moon. If you don't want to do half moon in the little flow that we do, then you don't have to do it. But I thought we'd take the opportunity to practice here. So a block is a good idea. A wall is a great idea if you've got one. If you don't have one, then don't worry. And just take the option. So don't, lift your leg if you don't want to. And come into it in your way. So if you are doing it with the wall, then standing with your right leg just against the wall or near the wall. And then your block will go in front of you, in front of that right foot, and slightly out to the side as well. So there's lots of ways of coming into it, but if you want to, you could just stand on your right leg and just start to lift that left leg up, so keeping the hips fairly level. And then as the body goes down, your hands could go onto this block. You can bend your knee as much as you want to, and you could just kind of stay there. You could bring your hand onto your hip, and the idea is to rotate that hip, so that top left hip rotates forward, so you're opening the hips up, and then we reach up through that left hand. The left leg can be high or low, it doesn't matter, but try and flex your foot and get it kind of pointing away from you. Good, very nice. So the idea is that you're kind of imagining that you're leaning against the wall, so with your shoulder, with your top hip. Very lovely. And again, even if you do it here, there's no obligation to do it in the flow, you can just leave it out. So we'll make our way back up. So again, lots of ways, but you could bend your front leg, start to lift your body up as you lower your leg and just come to standing. But just however you feel to get out of it, then that is fine. So we'll try that on the other side. So again, if you've got a wall, great. Use your block in front of your left foot and slightly out to the left. Feet hip distance for balance. And then we'll start to just bend into the legs, leaning forwards. So as you take your hand down, your back leg lifts, maybe taking your hand onto your hip. So you can keep both hips facing towards the ground first, then start to turn through that right hip. And then maybe reach up through your right arm, but only if it feels right. Try not to lean too heavily on the arm. So try and think about the weight kind of being light in the arm that you're resting on. So you're not it's not an arm balance. We're using a lot of core. Very nice. Super. Okay, and then I'll get you to come out of it just in your own way. So again, slowly making your way up. Feet together, maybe hands together. Making thanks for the fact that we didn't fall. And if you fall, it's fine. Just fall, hopefully laughing. So I would keep your blocks handy. We are going to come in and do one other little balance in the start of our flow as well, because we're going to work a little bit more into the hips. That does open the hips, but we want to kind of strengthen the hips as well. So we've got a nice strong bowl, if you like, for our hips. So we'll start, I would advise you to start at the top of your mat. I'm just going to stand facing you just now, just because, so that you can see a little bit better. So we're going to stand with our feet hip distance. Again, you might need blocks in front of you here, you might not, but you might just want them at the top of your mat, and they'd be useful for your half moon and maybe this balance as well. Although you don't have to do what we're going to try. I might grab a couple. So when you're ready, we'll start with our feet hip distance apart. We're going to stand on your left leg, so your right leg is going to lift up. And all we're going to do, first of all, is just to circle the knee round. So although we're circling the knee, we're actually mobilizing your hip a little bit. If that feels hard, you can always use a wall. And then change and go the other way. So again, just take it nice and slowly if you want to, faster if it feels right. And we're going to come into this kind of figure four, so like a standing pigeon. So we flex the right foot, and we're going to take it onto your left thigh. Again, if that doesn't work for you, Then move it down the leg, or even just have it on the ground. Just work where you can. And then first of all, just bring your hands towards the center and maybe just start to bend your left leg a little bit. Keep your right foot flexed and use a wall if you need to. So you can always come in once we move back into the flow, but just, you know, work where it feels right. So option-wise, you can stay here. You can move your hands onto your shin and your knee, if that feels right. And it'll work a little bit more into that hip. Or if you've got blocks, you can move your hands down to the blocks. Again, you don't have to. It's not going to make your day any better because you get lower down. So just work with what you can and what you've got here. And breathe into it. So it should feel quite intense in that hip area, and that's fine. I'm going to actually come around this way. So we're just in this position. So again, if you're coming back into it from a wall, you might want to release and come back in now. If you're coming into it from here, we're going to step back to high lunge. So you might want to move up first. So if you've got your hands on blocks, maybe move them onto your legs, maybe bring your hands towards your chest. We'll lift back up through that right leg and step back to a high lunge position. So just a crescent lunge position. Good, so if you just make your way into that, it doesn't matter if you're flowing into it, but just make your way into it. And maybe reach the arms up for a breath. So the hips are forwards, the back heel is pressing away, tailbone tucks under. And try and relax your shoulders as much as you can. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale here. And then from here, we're going to move to warrior two. So you're going to spin your heel on your back leg, start to move your hips round, reach forwards through your left hand and back through your right. And lift your belly and lift your chest. Just watch that front knees not drawing in. Good, so in this posture, in warrior two, we're really trying to open the hips up. So we're trying to pull back on our right hip. And also open up through the left hip joint. So it's quite a simple posture, but it's very effective for opening our hips up. And sometimes if the chakra, that sacral chakra, is blocked in any way, then it can stifle our creativity and sensuality. So we want it to be as open as we can. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. So we're going to move forwards into side angle. So your options are to slide forwards, maybe placing that forearm towards your thigh, or maybe grab a block today and place it to the inside of your foot. So you could take your hand down the side. The idea with that is that you can then use that arm to keep pushing that knee back. And then today we're just going to reach straight up. So concentrating more on the leg aspect of side angle today, rather than the upper body. Good, so keep turning in your chest though a little bit, very nice. And really work through your legs. Now from here, if you want to, we're going to come in and do a little bind. So your top arm is just going to reach behind your back. So you just grab hold of what you can, so maybe your t-shirt, your hip or your thigh. And you might just stay with that. So that might just be enough, just pulling that shoulder back. If you want to come in for the bind, then remember that left arm is going to go underneath and you're going to try and grab hold of that hand. You don't have to. And if it feels like it's kind of dragging you under to get hold of that hand, then you're better to stay more open and keep space there. So just go with how it feels. If it feels right, then do it. If it doesn't, then don't. Okay, take one more deep inhale. Release any bind you've got. So maybe reach back up with that arm as well. And then when you're ready, start to very slowly move up to warrior two. Good. Now from here, you've got a choice. You can stay in warrior two, or we're going to try and come up to that half moon again. So if you've got a block, it will be the outside of your left foot, slightly forwards again, exactly the same position it was in before. But this time we're going to go into it with the leg bent. So we lean forward, place your hand on the block, push off your back leg. You can take a step in and then start to lift it up. Again, if it doesn't feel right, you could have 2 blocks here and have your hands on blocks in front of you. But if it does, maybe take that right hand onto your hip, maybe start to open the hip, draw the shoulder back, reaching up. Good, but if it doesn't feel right, lower your back leg. You don't have to have it lifted. Very nice. Okay, we'll take one more breath here. Now, when we're coming out of it, we're going to come to the top of your mat. So if you bring your back leg in, and then just fold forwards. So you can just fold forwards towards your legs. Good. Okay, when you're ready here, we'll inhale, lengthen forwards. And on the exhale, just folding back in. As you inhale, reach up. And on the exhale, we'll bring the palms towards your heart. Now you can keep your feet together for the next bit, or keep them apart, or you can bring them in. But on an inhale, we'll reach the arms up. We're going to lift the heels again. Remember we did this before. And then on the exhale, if you can, bring your hands to your heart and start to bend your knees. Keep the heels lifted. If this is too difficult, take your heels down. Good. And when you come down, you can take your hands to the ground, but we're going to bring the heels together and you're kind of up on the balls of your feet. So this is called butterfly. So the heels are together, you're up on the balls of your feet. Your hands can stay down, or if you can, lift your hands up off the ground and bring them towards the center of your chest. Good. Well done. We'll take one more deep inhale. Now again, option-wise, hands to the ground and start to come up, or keep your hands where they are, push through your feet and lift all the way back up. But just whatever feels right to you. And then you can close your eyes and just take a moment just to see how your legs feel, hopefully like they've been worked. Well done. Okay, we'll release the hands, we'll open the eyes. We'll come back in for the other side, so you might want to grab these blocks. I'll grab mine. So we'll come back in, standing on your right leg this time. We'll lift the left leg up. So again, we're just going to start to circle that leg around. So again, do this at a wall if you'd like to. So just mobilizing your hip a little. And then change direction, so just go the other way. And then when you're ready, we'll come into that figure 4. So we'll flex your left foot. Again, place it on your thigh, maybe further down the leg, maybe on the floor. Bring your hands towards the center and start to just sink a little bit into that right leg. So the chest stays upright, the belly pulled in, working through your hip. And then again, from there, if you want to, start to move your way forward. So your hands could just rest on that leg. You could sit a little bit more into it. Keep lifting the sit bones up though. So rather than kind of squatting down too much, lift the sit bones, lift the hips up. And then if you've got blocks and you want to use them, maybe bring them in front of you. Maybe you can take your hands to the ground. You know, work where you can. Maybe you can lower your blocks. Just work where you can, where it feels right. So you'll feel it a lot in that hip. Keep your core working, keeping the belly pulled in. Well done. Now again, we'll slowly start to make our way back up. So you're taking your time, so your hands are on blocks of the floor, start to move them up to your leg, and then start to make your way back up again. Bring your hands towards the center of your chest. So again, from there, we're going to lift through the knee again, and then we're going to step all the way back into that high lunge position. So again, if you're against the wall, maybe come into high lunge now, pressing through your back heel, bending into your front leg, and maybe reach the arms up. So the word for the sacral chakra is called Svadhisthana, and it basically is broken into two bits in Sanskrit. So the sva part of it means one's own, and the adhisvatana means dwelling. So basically the sacral chakra is one's own dwelling. So where we originate, where all our creativity and natural flair comes from. Okay, when you're ready, we'll move to warrior two. So again, opening up through the hip now. So we place the foot down, drawing back a little bit on that right knee and pulling back on the left hip. And maybe looking forwards. And again, if you want to envisage that chakra, the second chakra, then it's a bright, glowing orange. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. So again, we're going to move into side angle. So your options are just move forward, placing that forearm towards your leg and reaching today straight up. Otherwise, maybe grab a block, or if you can reach the floor, then do that. Take your hands to the floor. Keep pressing back through that right arm and reach up with your left arm. So we're keeping the knee in alignment. So rather than pushing it out, we're actually just keeping it where it should be. Maybe look up, draw the belly in. And then if it feels right, maybe take that half bind. So taking that top arm just round your back. It could lay on your low back, it can be on your hip. If it doesn't feel right, reach it back up. And then if you want to, taking that right arm under, grab hold of your hand and keep opening the chest. So keep pulling back through your shoulder. Good, very nice. But just working where it feels right. And keep breathing. So remember, pay attention to your breath, because if it starts getting a little bit ragged, then you maybe just gone a little bit too far. Okay, we'll slowly start to release the bind if you've got it. And then we'll slowly start to make our way up to warrior two. So just take your time coming back in. And then again, stay here or come in for that half moon on this side. So placing the block to the outside of that right foot slightly forwards and then lift through your back leg. So we push onto the block. You might step in a couple of times and then lift the leg. It's up to you. And if you don't want to lift it, keep it on the ground. Keep your foot on the ground. Good. And you can always keep your top hand on your hip rather than reaching it up. And bend the front leg if you need to a lot. You don't have to straighten it. If you can, work to get straight, but you don't have to. Well done. Okay, slowly from there, again, we're going to bring that top foot, bottom foot up to the top foot, and then we're just going to fold forwards towards your legs. From here, inhale, lengthen. And on the exhale, just folding back in. As you inhale, reach up. And on the exhale, palms meet the heart. So again, keep your feet separated if you'd like. Maybe walk them in if you'd rather. Inhale, reach for the arms. So maybe lift the heels up this time. And on the exhale, bring the hands towards your heart. Maybe start to bend in the legs, keeping the heels lifted or lowering the heels, just whatever feels right to you. Again, when we lower ourselves back down, you might want to take your hands on the ground just to walk the heels in, walk the toes out. So coming back into that butterfly posture. And you can even lift up a little bit if you're not in the right position to get into it. And then maybe start to lift the hands. But again, just whatever feels best to you. And lift the belly, lift the chest, relax the shoulders. Well done. We'll take one more deep inhale. This time we will take the hands to the ground. And then we'll start to just take yourselves onto your bottom. So you can release your hands behind you. You can have a little seat. And you can bring your legs out. Maybe give your legs a little shake off. So when you come in, you might want to grab a strap for the next one. You don't have to. We're going to come in for Paschimottanasana first. So you're going to sit onto your sit bones. Again, if you're using the strap, just take it around the ball of your feet. Maybe bend your knees, or maybe just reach up and make your way forwards, just to any degree here. So relax yourself down, grab hold of what you can without forcing it or gripping, but try and relax as much as you can. Okay, when you're ready, slowly start to come back up again. So take your time as you make your way back up. And from here, we're going to come into Janushasana. So we're going to keep your right foot flexed and straight. Bend your left leg in. And again, allow it to relax down, or maybe use a block there. Turn your body towards that right leg. And then again, using your strap, or maybe just make your way forwards. So take your time, take hold of what you can. Try to relax your shoulders. You'll take one more deep inhale here. Start to come back up again. So taking your time as you come back up. This time we're going to plant that left foot on the ground. And you could use a strap here if you want to. If you can, grab hold of the sole of your foot. And we're just going to draw it so it's coming in towards that shoulder. Again, if you'd rather use a strap, just have the strap around the ball of your foot. So keep nice and upright. Just working into that hip. And then if you can, slowly start to extend the leg up. Again, if it doesn't work for you, then just keep the leg bent. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. We're going to try and let the leg go, but keep it where it is. So release the hands and then point your toes and slowly lower, slowly, carefully, lower it all the way down. Okay, well done. You can give your legs a little shake. So we'll come in from the other side. So we'll bend that left leg in. Again, release the leg down and start to turn your body towards your right leg. As you come in, start to move forward. So maybe using your strap around the foot, maybe just making your way forwards, taking hold of what feels right to you. Trying to keep the chest lifted and the shoulders drawing back. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale and start to slowly come back up again. So take your time as you're coming out of it. Again, take your right foot flat on the floor. So keep your left foot nice and flexed here. And then maybe start to either use your strap or just lift your foot off the ground. So drawing that knee in towards your shoulder. And then when you're ready, if you can, start to slowly extend the leg. But again, if it doesn't feel right, then you can keep the leg bent. You can use a strap, whatever feels right to you. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. So again, try to release the leg, keep it where it is. And then point your toes and very, very slowly release the leg down. Good. Okay, give your legs a little shake off. So this time we're going to do a little, I've heard it called lots of things. Sometimes it's called the Charlie Chaplin. I'm going to turn around just to, so you can see from the side, but I'll show you here first. You're going to separate your feet, and it's the outside edge of your feet that go into the ground. So the legs are quite wide. I feel like I'm giving birth here, but it's basically that kind of posture, but your feet press down towards the ground. So really wide, so almost, well, probably at the edges of your mat if you're there. And then sit yourself forward onto your sit bones. And we're going to take your right hand, and the right hand will just go underneath the right leg. Just flatten the floor. And then reach up with your left hand. So this would be kind of option one. If you wanted to, your right hands can go right under, round the back, and then your left hand comes round and you grab hold of it. So a little bit like that bind that we did earlier, but we're still opening the chest up to the left side. Good, very nice. Again, if you can't reach the hand behind you, then don't worry about it. Just keep that hand reaching up. And just breathe into it. Keep pressing through your feet as well, so don't forget them. So the outside edge of the feet are flexed. And then slowly release your left hand, reach it back up again for one breath. And then release everything back to the center. So we're going to do that on the other side. So again, keep your feet pressing down, your feet flex, legs wide. So we'll start with your left hand, so underneath that left leg again. And then reach up with your right arm. So we're just opening up towards the right side, so spiraling the chest round. So if that feels okay for you, you could stay there. Otherwise, take that left hand under and then take your right hand and try and grab hold of that hand. So drawing the chest open towards the right. Good, breathing deeply again. If your hands don't reach, doesn't matter. Take one more deep inhale. We'll slowly release that right hand up. So keep stretching it up and pulling it back. And then slowly release both hands down. And give your legs just a little shake off there. Well done. Okay, from here, we'll just come into Baddha Konasana. So we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. As you come into this, keep the feet quite wide. And again, if you want to, you can just stay upright. So all you're doing is pressing the knees open, lifting the chest. And that might feel quite a nice stretch to you, so you don't have to move forwards. If you want to, you can take your hands onto your feet, or maybe again, the hands go underneath the legs. And this time then come on top of the feet. And then you can relax your head down. But it's not a tight Baddha Konasana, so the heels are not really close towards your bottom, but there's a little bit of gap there. Well done. We'll take one more deep inhale. And then slowly release anything that you have. Start to make your way back up again. Take your time. We'll release the legs, maybe give them a little shake. And then we're going to come down onto your mat. So we're just going to make our way slowly down onto your mat. So you can use your hands here as you come down. Separate your feet about hip distance apart. And then with the knees bent, we'll lift your right leg up. We're just going to flex your foot and place it on that left thigh. Now we're not going to come in for thread the eye of the needle today. So all we're going to do is we're going to drop the legs over towards the left side and place your right foot flat on the floor. You can even take hold of the ankle if you want to, of that right foot with your right hand. And it just gives you a little stretch through the hip here. You could stretch in your left arm away if you want, or right arm away. So it's your left hand has got your right foot. Right arm stretching away, maybe turn to the right.
When you're ready, slowly release that. So make your way back towards the center. So uncross your legs, even up your hips first of all. And this time we'll lift the left foot up. So flex your foot, place it again on that thigh, keep it flexed, and then start to drop it over towards the right side. So your left foot, the flat of the foot is on the ground. You could maybe reach for it. Don't pull it away, but you could reach for it with that right hand, and then reach your left arm away and look along your left hand. So you should feel this kind of all the way up through the low back, through the hip. Well done. We'll take one more deep inhale and slowly make your way back towards the center. So again, uncross your legs. And then finally, we'll come in just to that reclined Gomukhasana. So we'll take your right leg and cross it over the left leg. So quite high up. And then lift the foot up off the ground. So you're drawing your knees towards your chest. So again, if you want to grab hold of your knees, maybe your calves, maybe you can grab your feet and start to pull your feet towards you. And if you can grab one foot and one shin, then that's fine. Just whatever works for you. Just feel it moving into that right hip. Relax the head and neck. Okay, one more deep inhale. And then slowly start to release. So release your hands, release your feet back down. Again, uncross your legs, and we'll just do the other side. So left leg up and over the right. Maybe just lift your foot off the ground and just stay there. Otherwise, grabbing hold of what you can, so your calves, your shins, your feet, start to draw them in towards you. And again, try not to get too tense in your shoulders and your neck in an effort to grab your feet. Okay, when you're ready, we'll slowly release that. Uncross your legs and then just draw the knees towards your chest. So you could just move gently side to side here. When you're ready, we're going to move into Shavasana. So you might want to put some socks or jumpers on. Take your time coming in. And again, we'll just do a little meditation on that sacral chakra. So when you're ready, just getting comfortable, just close your eyes and just allow the earth to rise up to catch you. Feel yourself in the present moment and know that you're loved and supported. Visualize in your mind the stillness of the earth. Perfectly smooth line that you're lying on. Let that line become your horizon and your freedom. At this moment, you're free. Slowly, with your eyes closed, begin to visualize a large orange right below your navel. Sweet or sour. Imagine the delicious juice inside this orange.
Imagine the taste filling your mouth. Let the orange grow and the details grow blurry. You cannot see the orange clearly any longer. Instead, you watch as the bright colour slowly dissipates into an ocean, turning the light waves orange and bright like the sun. Watch as this ocean gently spreads out through your body. Feel the waves move through your legs, all the way down to your toes. Watch as the water rushes up your spine and begins to fill every inch of skin, runs down your arms, your fingers, and all the way to the head. The water flows warm. The waves have your back. You're free, like the ocean within you. You're free. When you're ready, we'll take a deep inhale through your nose and then just sigh out your mouth. Do that once more, so just deeply inhaling and just let it go. And then just start to move a little bit. So just through your fingers and your toes. Maybe stretch your arms overhead. As you bring your arms back over, start to bend your knees and get your feet on the floor or maybe draw them in towards your chest. But just moving gently, side to side. And when you're ready, we'll just start to make our way up. So just taking your time, maybe keeping your eyes closed as you come up. And there's no rush, so take your time. And we'll just find a comfortable seat when you're ready. Bringing the palms together in front of your heart. Just leaving that little gap to signify an openness in your heart. So thank you so much for coming along and practicing with me this morning. I hope you enjoyed our second chakra, the Sacral Chakra. Namaste. Okay, thank you very much, ladies. Well done. Any